Hello, everyone, and I hope you're having a great weekend. This is Matthew, your course facilitator. Um, I have spent over the past couple of days grading your work from last week, and I'm going to be diving into your assignments, or your discussions tonight, and that were ongoing, and responding to those. I'm a little late getting to them, responding to this week, but I look forward to reading your discussions. Many of you did excellent work on the discussions. A couple of elements that we need to discuss, though. Many of you, most of you, have done outstanding work. And that would mean if you did well, and you must read the feedback that I provided you for milestone 1, do not attempt to move ahead without looking at your grade and looking at what I've said. Okay, many of you did excellent work. So basically, a social variable, an introduction, a variable and a determinant, essentially a determinant, are the same thing. Okay, and influence means effect. The language is a little confusing here, but what you're looking at is you're looking at variables that predict the situations that will create your social problem. Okay, many of you, okay, did really did a great work. Some of you need a little a little more work on your paper. And if you got what seemed like a direct response, or you didn't get a good grade, some of you I've asked to redo your work. Please know that we all come into this with different experiences, right? We all come into writing with different experiences. And so because of that, sometimes some of us are newer at writing and expressing ourselves in the correct way. They're newer than others, but you've got to write complete sentences. You've got to edit your work. You need to put a title page. You can't write bullets. You can't write incomplete, like just take some notes down and write them. Okay. That's not going to work. Many of you need to review, and I just read the discussions, the 3 sociological theories. Let me go over, and that was from my reading of the discussion and from your milestone 1s. There is some misunderstanding that we need to address. Okay. First of all, conflict theory isn't about you battling it out with your family, or you and your dad or your uncle not getting along because you have a conflict. That's the dictionary meaning of the word. When a sociologist talks about conflict theory, right, they're talking about, and many people are confused about this. Some people are very clear about it. In terms of, for example, the drug laws, right? A conflict theorist would examine how a group in power allocates, writes the drug laws in a way that punishes, other groups in an unequal way, right? Usually, this is an argument about structural racism. It's not a discussion about you and your family not getting along. That's not the application of the theory, right? Most people have a good understanding of functional theory. Interactionism doesn't mean you get to choose everything. It means that you have more latitude in the way you construct your reality than maybe some of the macro theories that we're given to experience. Okay, so please keep those in mind. Those points. Another thing too. you're often asked to reflect, on your individual situation and how it, it fits into a larger context, right? And your individual stories are important, okay, but you need to very quickly, you don't need to focus all of your work. This is not a psychology class. It's not a class in opinions, nor is it a class in how you feel necessarily about stuff, right? And you may have strong feelings, and and it's not to say that your personal experiences are not legitimate. They're not important, but they need to point you in the direction of looking at how this is a large scale. It's a social problem. Okay, let me give you an example from my own life. I'm a recovering alcoholic, okay? In terms of Morton Downey Jr. said, I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs, right? I mean, it was serious. It's a serious thing, for me. But I can't, I could write you, and in some context that would be appropriate. The history of me and my family, right? As a case study. But that's not really going to point us in the direction of alcohol use as a social problem. Okay. So I would start off with saying I have an interest in this because, I'm in recovery. I've struggled with this. Boom. Period. End of story. Then we move very quickly away from my story and we look at social structures. Okay. Like, for example, I would then go, how many people in the United States suffer from what the APA, the American Psychological Association, identifies as alcohol use syndrome? Okay, that's what it's called. You got to get your terminology correct, right? You can't. And then you have to say, what's the problem? Well, it's a problem, right? And it's been made worse, structurally by the pandemic. Right now that didn't affect me because, I haven't drank in 13 years, but it affects large numbers of people, and it's of interest to me because of my history. But I don't want to get stuck in replaying my history. I want to look at how this is a social problem that's emerging now. What's the data? What are the treatments? There's debates about treatments. There's debates about, for example, what the efficacy of 12-step programs. Now, yes, your personal experience, you may have found that they're a great solution, but that you got to go past that. You got to go past you talking about yourself, or me talking about myself, and look at big patterns of things. You've got to look at the big pattern, the big picture. Okay? That's another error. I think people just get stuck in that. That's just to kind of set you up for you to tell the reader why you're interested, right? But then, I have to move on. I have to move on to go, okay, so that's a problem. The pandemic exacerbated it. Another problem is, a conflict theorist might look at unequal access to treatment resources, right? What do people do who are poor, or what do people do from underserved communities, communities like Appalachia or communities of color, for example? So we need to look at this. Please read your work before you submit it. And read the textbook before you start to write. Don't just start writing and then turn something in. All right. I think we're going to be fine. If I've asked you, if I've asked you to please, and this is some of you, if I've asked you to please go to the academic support site and run your material through it, then please do so. Okay. It's an 8-week course. It goes very quickly. I want you to have every opportunity for success. Okay. Thanks a lot and have a great rest of your weekend.